always been, right? This has always been, but this has always been my take on NLE Choppa, right? And I see he just put out, and I'm making this video because he just put out, the new diss record, or the new record, the way, like I said, a diss in it. I don't know if it was primarily a diss record like the last record, but I've always been one of those people who are not group thinking in a way that I've always liked Choppa, bro. I thought Choppa had his own style. Obviously, he was influenced by YoungBoy, and let that be known. It wasn't ashamed of that. To me, that's a plus. Like, you're gonna be influenced by people. It's when you try to deny, act like you don't know what the fuck is. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that, but I got the hiccups. It's when you try to deny, like you don't know what's going on, or you don't know what's up, and you clearly are mimicking the nigga style, or you were my fault. Or you were clearly influenced by a nigga style. That's what makes it lame, bro. If a nigga come out and say, "Hey, I like her. That's my favorite rapper." I was, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with him. I've always thought Choppa in that degree did good. But if you want me to keep it 100,000, and I think Choppa should see this too. When you look at the way NBA YoungBoy rocks, just based off the fact that Choppa got into it with Quando Rondo back in the day, they probably were never gonna be on good terms, man. Because you see how NBA YoungBoy is tight knit and locked in with all the people he fuck with, and if you Bear, please, I'm trying to make a video. And if you notice all the people that he locked in with, like his problems are their problems and vice versa. So that probably was never going to ever be a tight-knit relationship, but it probably could have been mutual, maybe, if anything. And I think, and to be honest with you, I believe it was at a mutual place. I truly believe Choppa overstepped when he stepped into that situation with King Von and, Quando and YoungBoy being, and I understand the connections, right? He got into it with Quando Rondo himself, right? Then YB gets into it with King Von, which in turn gets, turns into Quando Rondo and, King Von. And then obviously we know what happened that night at the club in November. And hey, Bear, hey. Go. Can you get down? So I'm trying to make them. Go. I'm trying to make it go. Lay down. Hold on. My fault about that. But we all know what happened that night, November, right? In 2020, I believe King Von lost his life. And so I understand the personal connection of why he would be upset. King Von is his friend and stuff like that. But at the same time, when life gets lost, my nigga, you got to understand and step back. You and Quando got into it like a fight, which was pretty much like a fist fight with security and shit involved. But other than that, it was just a fight. Compared to this nigga lost his life, now it's death. This is real beef, my nigga. Or at least understand that when you step into it, you can't just say, "Oh, you're not a fan, bro. You're a rapper, right? You went on a platform. You went on No Jumper, and got clipped saying that you stand on what Lil Reese said, that NBA YoungBoy and pretty much all the niggas with him ain't about none of the shit they rapping about," which is pretty much calling them pussy, like especially if you take into context the shit they rapping about, right? And so, yeah, it gets real, my nigga. And so I don't, and like I said, hey, Bear. Hold on, give me a second, that's my fault. It's really on me. I want to bathe her better, but it's cold outside. Whenever it gets warmed up a little bit, I can bathe her a little better instead of the little wash up I gave her. But yeah, my nigga, life is lost. You know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, that's not where I was. Or at least if you gonna drop diss records and like these are trying to be diss records, you gotta go there with this nigga. Like talk like if you wanna, I think Academics said it best. If you wanna keep this to a competitive artistic level, then you need to let that be known. Because the shit you got videos referencing you cutting off his head, you talking about eating up. And then you referencing clean up on our tray. When we all know that's a reference to a lyric that NBA YoungBoy is dissing King Von after he's dead. That's why he's saying clean up on our O, referencing the death of King Von. Take him to the freezer where they stitch his ass, referencing to King Von's body. Like the references and stuff that you talking about, that shit is serious, bro. So if this nigga's talking about seriously stepping, and this is why I say I hope it's not, because especially when you get to the level that NLE and NBA are, even though they're their own men and their own people, you're a team. You're part of a team now. There's a whole group of people behind this movement that he has going on. He could literally dedicate this shit to just dropping good music and just trying to catch up to YoungBoy on the charts and just become real competition in that way, instead of you got your whole like he done changed his look. These music videos cost money, so you have a budget and stuff like that, dedicating it to dissing this nigga. That's, you know what I'm saying? That you got a whole group of people dedicated to that shit now. just for what if he responds and tries to take it somewhere bad where a shooting happens and someone around you gets shot, or like things like that can happen, man. It can go there. And I'm not saying NLE Choppa is a scary ass nigga, but if you trying to take it there, bro, you need these the records you don't need to be dropping. You really don't need to be dropping no records in anywhere. You need to just be trying to get active in the street, which I don't recommend any of that, because violence is on violence. I mean, violence just begets more violence. And y'all are young men, bro. Y'all are making millions of dollars. Y'all are in positions where millions of young men see y'all and look up to y'all, bro. And seeing y'all two beef just entices the beef that's already in the streets to keep going. It's like, hey, if they doing this shit at the top level, let's keep it going at the bottom level. It's almost like a hopelessness in the way that you never really can escape it. If somebody young right now beefing with a nigga, thinking about getting out the hood, and they watching maybe an artist or somebody to look up to beefing with a nigga as a celebrity, it's, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of a hopeless feeling, man. You know. So y'all got to think about that when y'all be putting this shit out. But y'all let me know what y'all think.